Get us going. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. My name is Doug Brunke. I am the founder and CEO of Global Chamber. You have joined the League of Extraordinaries. This is one of our oldest, maybe the oldest event, signature event that we do at Global Chamber. The original idea is the idea we still have, is that it's members only, members of Global Chamber. It is a supportive, positive, oriented conversation that allows each member to speak, probably for about 4 minutes each, typically 3 or 4 minutes, depending on how much time we have, because we do finish up at the top of the hour. And our main focus is to understand who you wish to meet. And so what happens is Cesar Trabanco is here in this room with me. So is Elisa LaRuse, and we're keeping notes on what you say, on who you want to meet, and we record that. Then internally, we transfer after the meeting and come up with ideas during the meeting and after the meeting, and make warm introductions for everybody. So the main thing we'd love to hear from you is who you want to meet, and of course, any other information you have to support our understanding of what you're looking to do, any other issues or opportunities that you have, any other help that you need, please let us know. Please use the chat area as well to introduce yourself, to communicate back and forth to everybody. All good. And then finally, what we will do after the meeting, probably later today, is to have a LinkedIn post with a picture or two from the conversation, and also a hyperlink for all of you, so that if you miss connecting up, you'll be able to connect up to everybody here on LinkedIn. Since everyone is a member, everyone is vetted, and we can guarantee that they're people that you can trust. One of those people we'll start with, that's Zach Selch. He's the key person you'd probably want to ever meet around understanding distribution systems around the world and actually implementing one for your business. Zach is based in Chicago, in the Chicago area. He's on the advisory board for Global Chamber Chicago. He's a longtime member of Global Chamber. He attends trade shows all over the world, some of which he's been attending for decades. He has over 10,000 people, 10,000 distributors in his database. He knows a lot of people, and he knows sales. Zach, thanks for joining. Thanks for being part of Global Chamber for so long. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help?
So I'll very briefly, what I do is I work with companies that are trying to expand globally. Usually, one of the overlooked issues is building up their sales organization. They're typically very good in their home market, and as they need to expand, they need to understand from two perspectives. One is the cross-cultural selling aspect, and the other one, very often more important, is just the mechanics of working with distributors. How do you find the distributors? How do you manage them? What expectations do you set, etc.? And I work with people as an advisor, as a mentor, excuse me, and also done for you. I'm presently building up distribution organizations for 4 different companies. Anyway, so anybody who knows people who are tasked with building up distribution, they're trying to expand globally, they're getting 10% sales growth, they'd like to see more serious sales growth, that's what I do. And any introduction in that field would be great. Thank you very much, Doug.
Brilliant. So we actually have time for questions. When you talk that quickly, it's perfect. Are there particular market segments or regions of the world that you're amazing at? And then I'll open up the floor for questions from anybody.
No, I'd say what I'm amazing at is finding money. So very often people come to me and they say, well, I want to sell in France or Japan. and I will help them figure out what the real best market is for them. And then, because very often the best market for your product is probably a country you've never thought about, you could not find on the map. So that's what I do is I figure out what the better markets are. I figure out what their distribution should look like. I find those distributors. And in terms of, I right now I'm working with people in the ag tech business, people in the med tech business, people in the construction tech business. So I'm very much industry agnostic and territory agnostic. My skill is really in figuring out how to build up the right international sales organization to get into new markets and to drive sales.
Sounds good. Anybody have a quick question? We have about another minute left. Just unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hey, Zach, most of my company's business is offshore coming into here. Are you set up for North America?
Yep, so about half of my revenue is helping people. And what happens is, let's say you're a German company, and you're typically used to going into, Italy or India or someplace like that. You find a distributor, and that distributor does everything for you. Usually selling in America works differently. Usually you won't end up with one distributor. You'll end up with a combination of a few distributors and a few reps. So I help them build that up. And yeah, like I said, about half of my clients right now are international companies coming into the US, and about half of them are US companies exporting.
Thank you very much, Zach. You know the routine. Please feel free to put your information in the contact area. And for all of you, please feel free to do that as well. Connect up with each other along the way. Let's go now to Montreal and Tino Melita of Go Global. It's an Argentine company, and they do some really outstanding work across borders. Tino, thank you for being a relatively new member. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help? Oh, you're on mute. Uh-oh. What's going on? Let's see. What's going on? You're not showing as muting. Is that
I think there's something with your mic.
So we'll go around and maybe log off and come back, and all the magic will happen. That's my expectation. The other thing I'd like to request is Marcella, to put your full name in the area. I think I can find it as well. And for all of you, just make sure that we have your name fully shown so that we all know exactly who you are. Let's go to Alex Martin, KBKG. Alex is transfer pricing expert of world renown. Tremendous activity, Alex. Thank you for joining and welcome. Haven't seen you for a little while. What's the latest from you? Who would you like to meet, and how can we help? Based in the Detroit area, Plymouth, Michigan, I believe.
Exactly. Hi everyone. Sorry, I'm having a little problem with my video. Help if I flip the switch.
Oh, there you go. We see you.
Yeah. My name's Al. Again, my name's the transfer pricing practice leader at KBKG. We're a tax incentive and credits firm. I work with multinational companies on making sure they pay the correct amount of tax in every country where they operate. So that would be U.S. companies exporting or having foreign international subsidiaries or foreign subsidiaries, or foreign companies investing in the U.S. And effectively, tax authorities around the world are concerned about making sure companies are paying their fair share of tax. Where I could use some assistance, or I'd certainly be interested in speaking with fellow members. Um, is, if they work with international or multinational companies, again, both inbound and outbound, that'd be a fantastic, I'd be grateful for those types of introductions. We also find that a lot of companies don't necessarily have a good handle on their transfer pricing, and that impacts their cash flow. So while this is largely considered a tax issue, pretty much every multinational company has this issue to deal with, and we're very well situated to provide some practical suggestions and really improve cash flow and make sure they're not getting in trouble with tax authorities in the US or elsewhere.
Fantastic. Are there specific types of companies, typically product companies, right? I guess by definition.
It can be software too, or pharmaceuticals, or really any company that has cross-border transactions. Even if they don't have a specific tax exposure, we're always happy to make practical recommendations on, let's say, for example, establishing intercompany contracts, things like that. On my end, in terms of offering connections to my network, 70% of our work comes from partnering with CPA firms. So if you're working with a firm that needs some help from a tax and accounting perspective, I'm more than happy to put fellow members in connection there, not just in the US, but worldwide, because a lot of companies are really just looking for some handholding on day-to-day operations, setting up their operations, or just managing some of the complicated tax and accounting requirements on a global basis too. So there's my 5 minute spiel, and it has been too long since I've been on a call here.
I'm glad to see you, and we'll get refreshed on getting some connections to you. So thank you very much for joining. Let's continue.
I have a good
Yes.
story in the Financial Times that would be interesting and about Coca-Cola, but I'll share that later.
Oh, you have an interesting what? Interesting story?
A story about some quotes in the Financial Times about Coca-Cola's transfer pricing problems, but I can share that with the group later.
Okay, yeah, pop the link into the chat area for sure. So we love to laugh at others' misfortunes. Is that true?
I don't know about, well, who knows?
Or at least learn from them so that we don't make them ourselves.
Even
Thank
better.
Thank you very much. Let's go to South Africa and Dishan Maharaj. Dishan is a longtime member. We love, Dishan, your team's leadership on helping companies be more successful, working with incubators, working with startups, working with small and medium-sized businesses across South Africa, across Africa, and across the world. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help?
Hi, Doug. Hi, Global Tribe members. Great to be here again. My apologies, I'm off camera. I'm actually at a client engagement in another session at the moment, and I thought I'd just pop in. So I think the ideal client that we'd like to meet is, because we've developed digital business mentoring and management platforms for industry agnostic businesses. Ideally, it would be groups or organization, economic development organizations, or really SMEs at large. Because we're digital, we are able to scale our support. So I think sky's the limit with regards to that, right? So we'd be keen to partner with and collaborate with any individuals who have networks or connections within developmental agencies, that are looking to support SMEs at scale. I think the benefit of having such sort of platforms is that, you're not limited to certain geographies, right? As Doug alluded to, we've worked with thousands of businesses globally. I think over 500,000 businesses to date across all continents. And so I think sky's the limit with regards to where we can work and who we can collaborate with. We also have, our platforms being translatable into over 60 different languages globally. So that does make it a bit easier for the support as well to be consistent across the globe. So yes, I have left my details in the chat. So, anybody that, has this kind of network or connection, or that can make the warm introduction, let's have a chat about that. Thanks, Doug, for the opportunity.
What's the name of your company, Dishin, and the name of the platform, please?
Sure. So we fall under YBR Consulting. However, our platforms are BET and Advisor. I will share some links now in the chat, just on our platforms, and anybody from the global tribe or the sort of extended networks may reach us at any time.
Fantastic. You mentioned you're at a client today. Where are you? Are you in Johannesburg?
No, so we're actually in the Northwest Province. We are busy working with a mining client at the moment in the platinum mining industry. We are looking at, because within South Africa, there's a large or a mandate for large or big business to actually spend a portion of their profit after tax on rehabilitation, CSI, SME development. So we are assisting them with their strategy in further promoting and developing SME businesses within the community.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. We'll
Thanks,
continue to go. Thank you. Thank you. We'll continue to go around the room. A brand new member, just a few hours old, Michaela Sparini of IDD. They're in the shoe industry and they do design. Michaela, thank you for joining. It's been fun to learn more over the last week about who you're looking to meet. Are you available to chat and explain a little bit more of who that person
Sure.
is that you'd like to meet?
Of course. IDD is an international design hub, possibly one of the largest in the world markets. It's a hub with 70 plus designer, and everybody is specialized in footwear. So just to give you a brief understanding of what we do, we go from design into the prototypation of the first shoe and sample. And we have very advanced technologies on our side. We do 3D maquettes and handmade maquettes, and we're looking to become more and more international. We actually already work with quite a few international brands, but we want to get stronger and stronger in the world markets, essentially. Okay, so the US and Europe in general. And I'm looking to get in contact with CEOs, chief creative officers of multinational footwear brands, or even apparel fashion brands that are looking for expanding their product categories into footwear. And because we follow all the way through the whole design process until the final sampling product phase. So this is what I am looking for. Our plus is that we really speed up the whole process. We cut internal costs because we take care of everything on our side, and we are very much able to enter the brand's DNA thanks to our international knowledge of the markets and of any international brands. So if there is any question you would like to ask me, I'm here to answer.
Brilliant. Where are you located, and where do you think your best clients will be located?
We are located in north of Italy, close to Venice, very nice area, which is one of the most important shoe areas in Italy, where all the big luxury brands have their production facilities. And our best customers actually are located in the US, like companies like VOF Corporation, Tapestry, Ralph Lauren, Colehan, Under Armour. I mean, there's hundreds of them, and Europe as well. in Italy, we can take care of our own markets, but you know, both in the UK and Australia, which is not Europe, of course, and Germany and Austria and Holland, we're looking to expand as much as possible in the world markets because we have a knowledge for the international markets and we can be of real help to all the brands.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining Global Chamber. Please put your information in the chat. Feel free to reach out to Michaela. And thank you for sharing today on such short notice. You just joined a few hours ago, maybe 2 hours.
It was quick. Yeah. Thank you.
Let's now go to Stuart Golding. And Stuart, I believe, is in the Southampton, Portsmouth area of the UK, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Your company, UK Data Secure, seeks to find clients in the data industry. Stuart, who would you like to meet and how can we help?
Okay, I'd like to ask a couple of questions just to get people into the kind of mood of what I do, I suppose. So, yeah,
Sure.
I'd like to ask how many businesses that you know that rely on data and information every day to run their businesses, to drive your decisions, to innovate, to serve your customers and to grow. If that's you and your business, I'd like to talk to you. If you rely on digital data across your devices, your smartphones, your iPads, your tablets and your cloud-based services, you really, really need to protect it. Information and data is the lifeblood of your business. I want you to think about how you'd cope if you were the victim of a ransomware attack. How long could you continue to do business if all of your normal systems and information on them was disabled by such a ransomware attack, which also stole your most highly confidential and sensitive customer and employee data and your company secrets? The United States suffered 65% of global ransomware attacks last year, followed by the UK with 9% and Canada with 5%. My business is the sole reason we exist is to help you to make sure your data and information is kept secure and private. We're business, sector and territory agnostic. We work with global businesses of tens of thousands of heads, all the way down to startups of less than 5 heads. And we can do everything for you remotely. I'd like to meet Chief Information Officers, Chief Technology Officers, and Chief Information Security Officers who want to ensure the data they rely on is secure and private. The starting point is always giving a business a data security and privacy diagnostic health check, which we do for free. Our diagnostic health check helps you to understand the current status of your data security and privacy controls. Whatever stage you're at in managing your data, cyber and information security, we can help you by identifying quick wins in addition to longer-term opportunities to improve your data controls. Everything we review and the recommendations we make will assist you to avoid data security and privacy incidents and breaches in your organization, which could have a significant effect on how you continue to do business. We want to help you to maintain the reputation and viability of your business by making sure your data is secure and you've got controls in place which help you to do that. So that's my statement. That's what I'd like to do to help you with.
Fantastic. Which types of companies and which regions are the best for you?
Like I said, we're totally agnostic in terms of company size. I suppose the companies we like to work with best are perhaps the smaller, 50 heads to 200 heads. They're always good businesses to work with, but we do work with companies who have got tens of thousands of heads and are global, like I said, right down to the startup companies with less than 5 people who realize that they need to make sure that their data is secure from the get-go. And regions, yeah, we can work in any region. We've worked across regions across the world to help organizations with these challenges.
Spectacular. Thank you. Please feel free to put your information in the chat area, and got some ideas for you, and undoubtedly Cesar does as well. We are in the League of Extraordinaries, and these are all members of Global Chamber, so it's a trusted community. Feel free to help and support everyone that's here, trade information with each other, and then post-event, we'll not only be making warm introductions for each of you, some of which will be happening during the meeting, but most of them will happen after, but we'll have a LinkedIn post where you'll be able to connect up with each other. Let's go to Comey Clue, a personal friend of President Joe Biden. He splits his time between Africa and Delaware, the first state. He's an expert on Africa and investing in Africa. He's speaking actually at the next Global Chamber Africa monthly meetup next Tuesday. Comey, it's always a pleasure. It's been a little while. Where are you today? How can we help?
Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm in the big state of Delaware on the east coast of the US, where Biden is still the president for the next, I think, the next 3 months. But what do I do? Like Doug said, I run my business from everywhere in the world, but we are headquartered in Accra, Ghana, from where we support Africa. I'm focused on Africa now. Currently, what is new? Everything in Africa is new, as you know that it is a developing economy. And this month, my focus is on energy and energy independence. If you have worked in Africa, you know that our power supply system, whether you're in Ghana, you're in Nigeria, you're in Kenya, our power supply system is not good. So African governments and leaders have realized that unless we do something about it, Africa will never have a future in development. So Ghana just signed a memorandum of understanding with a US company to provide a nuclear reactor for nuclear power. That would be the first on the continent. South Africa used to have nuclear energy before, but they no longer have it. So Ghana just signed the agreement. So what we are looking for is anybody with expertise in fusion energy. That's a new energy where they use, I think, water and something else. It does not involve nuclear. In any type of renewable energy, we have a lot of projects that are ready to be funded. And the nuclear energy, that's a big project. That is a government level project, but we are consulting for them as energy consulting consortium. So that's what is new in Africa today. That's what is keeping me up at night. How can we help Africa gain energy independence? So anybody I'm looking for, anybody who is interested in impact investing in Africa, in helping with climate change while making money, is the person I'm looking for. Thank you.
Okay, very, very good. If you haven't met Vinayak Gupta, we need to get you connected for sure. He's one of the significant energy gurus within the Global Chamber Network. He's also the board chair for Global Chamber San Francisco, as you are the board chair for Global Chamber Accra. So thank you, Comey. Appreciate you sharing.
Thank you, sir.
Let's continue to go around the room, and Mona Cherkawi is a cross-cultural strategist and expert based in the United States and Florida, but working globally. Mona, it's great to see you. Thank you for coming to the League of Extraordinaries. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help? Oh, Mona, are you there?
Audio, yes, I am here. Good morning, everyone. Happy to be here again. So 9 o'clock, so this is early. Okay, 3 people or 3 groups or companies I'm looking for today. Number 1, I am looking for relocation companies and mobility companies in the state of Florida. And second, I am looking hopefully to connect with the multinational companies seeking to sell more, communicate better, lead better, and increase their team energy outside of their culture zone. And third, I am in women leadership, very active in women leadership field. Speaking opportunities to global audience will be fantastic. And also last one, I said 3, but I have a 4th one, Doug, I'm sorry. But I am trying, or I'm looking to connect with chamber members who are interested in putting global summit, virtual global summit that engages all topics related to expansions and locate and also what else? Cross-culture work, negotiations, communications, and leadership. If anyone is interested, please reach out to me. And thank you so much.
Thank you. One of the benefits of us putting together the Global Chamber of Communities is that there are topics that are of recurring interest to Global Chamber members, like the ones you mentioned, leadership and cross-cultural and logistics and sales and marketing, et cetera. So each one of those communities allows you to go in there and see a regular information, but also maybe most importantly is to connect up with people who are leaders. And so the idea of ongoing meetings that are supplemented by conversations in between those meetings on topics like cross-cultural are really important. So we certainly, Mona, relative to your interests, we're very interested in working with you to support events in all of those areas. And so would love to circle back with you on that. Let's continue to go around the room on the members here that are at Global Chamber. Nima Malali is got an event that she has coming up. It's a Global Chamber Dar es Salaam, and along with her, a community that she's built in Africa. When she put this up on our page, dozens of people quickly signed up, and her goal was to have hundreds of leaders women and others who are leading growing companies from not just where she's based in Tanzania, but all across Africa and all across the world. So Nima, thank you so much for all your passion and expertise and the work that you've already done with many other Global Chamber members in a relatively short amount of time. I'm not sure I've seen a member of Global Chamber in the last several years have so many other members of Global Chamber mention you to me to say, wow, that Nima, she is amazing. So we spotlighted you in today's Global Chamber newsletter as well. So for all of you, you should be getting that or have received that a few hours ago. So take a look at that event that I'm mentioning. Nima, who would you like to meet and how can we help?
Thank you very much, Doug. Thank you for your kind words. I am working with women SMEs in Africa, and people I would like to meet are people who are willing to work, NGOs or people who are willing to work with women SMEs, particularly collaborations, and also people who are willing to fund the projects that we are doing in the organization. And thank you I welcome everyone to the event that we're going to have on 3rd October. We're going to have a lot of women SMEs who are actually the CEOs of the companies. I think it's going to be a very good experience for Global Chamber and to meet a lot of women from Africa who are doing great job. So I welcome everyone, and this is a great chance to also see what are the questions that they're coming up with. So I welcome everyone. It's going to be 3rd October. Yes. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you. 3rd of October, there are several really significant speakers, including Dr. Sarita Jackson, and also I believe Sarah Cornett is part of that conversation as well on AI. Just a quick heads up, Cesar, I wanted to remind, and I've been meaning to, about the Zoom limit that we may have on that one. We may need to bump up the attendance level on that particular Zoom one. We'll just have to kind of keep an eye out on that particular one. So thank you, Nima, for sharing. Let's continue to go around the room and let's see, Paula Machado. from Portugal. She's an expert on the real estate of that region. She's an expert on what's going on. And as many of you know, there's a lot of people that have been moving to Portugal and using it as a place to do their business or to retire. She's the expert to speak with. Paula, what would you like to share? Who would you like to meet? How can we help?
Thank you, Doug. Hello, everyone. Briefly, what I do is to assist companies, brands, or individuals to get a base in Portugal, a physical base, a property base, whether for living or for working, whatever, or to expand their businesses. Our service, I have a company that provides a full service around a property acquisition, whether for living or for having a business. That means legal advice, tax advice, proper due diligence, vertical due diligence in all aspects, and everything that is needed to complete a smooth purchase. So, what I am looking for, I am looking for any brand that is in this worldwide brand that is looking to expand to Portugal, have a store, a logistic warehouse, something like that, commercial estate, student housing. There are a lot of student housing brands in the world, and the student housing market in Portugal is very, very attractive because we have a lack of it. And in case of hospitality also, any business in the hospitality industry, there's a lot of international brands coming in also. And regarding to individuals, my ideal clients would be CEOs or entrepreneurs that are that are some 55 or more years of age. They are looking and planning their retirement. They want to have a holiday house, a second home, or to come to live in Portugal in the retirement. They normally earn more than 300,000 K per year. That target is because our services are paid services, and this is the sort of a limit that I have experienced, that people who earn less than that are not willing to pay services to get served. So that's a narrowing, but it's true. It's effective.
That's helpful. That's very helpful.
And normally their purchases are at least have a minimum of 500,000 K. So that's also helpful.
Great.
Referral partners. Partners, they would be people that deal with wealthy people, like jewelry makers, yacht brokers, for instance, conciergerie companies, luxury services of conciergerie companies, all worldwide. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. And how do you pronounce your last name?
Macedo. Macedo.
Ah, there's an extra syllable in there. Okay, that's interesting.
Macedo.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Let's continue to go now to Montreal, Canada. And Tino, hopefully with fingers crossed that your mic works this time, of Go Global. Argentine company, he's based in Montreal, working globally. Tino, are you there? Uh-oh.
I'm here.
That's That's good.
I'm using my mobile. I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, thank you very much again for your time. I want to say hello to everybody. I'm based in Montreal, Canada, but the company is based out of Argentina, and I'm looking for CEOs, CFOs, or COs who are looking to downsize, cut costs, especially nowadays. Everybody's looking for costs, and we can outsource all their translation services because of the economics in Argentina. The company is 15 years old, and we cater to the life science industry, which is pharma, medical devices, and clinical trials. We are very good at those industries, but we also cater to marketing agencies, retail / e-commerce, and manufacturing. What we're really looking for is talking to the CEO who wants to, cut their costs. Having an internal translation company today with AI is costing a lot of money on overhead of employees. With AI and our expertise, we can help them to cut their costs by 35 to 50%. So if anybody has any contacts, I would really, really appreciate the introduction, and they will be very happy that you introduced us because we will save them money. And I put in the chat my email, my phone number, and I welcome everybody to touch base with me, and we can have one-on-ones and explain more in detail, language industry. The name of the company is Go Global Consulting. So it's very, very, when I met Doug the first time, Global Chambers, Go Global Consulting was very, very perfect match for us to be with you guys. We can help in any language to any language. So, give us a call and we'll be happy to help you.
Fantastic. In terms of your work and the work that you're doing, where are your clients typically located? What are the best places?
Mostly right now we have Europe and US. Of course, we have clients in Argentina, but the bigger clients are in Europe and in Argentina, in North America, sorry.
Fantastic.
Can I ask a question? Do you do interpretation or translation?
We do both. We do interpretation, so we can do live.
Do you have the ability to do online interpretation?
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you can, maybe reach out to me. I might be able to help you out.
Okay, I'm on my mobile. Who's speaking right now?
Oh, I'm sorry, Zach Selch.
We'll get you connected by email, Cesar. It's Zach Selch and Tino. Thanks.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Appreciate it. Simon Bird with Sion Growth is focused in on growth. A lot of what we end up focusing in on, as most members are, looking to grow their business. Simon helps with that. Simon, thank you for joining today. Who would you like to meet and how can we help?
Yeah, thank you, Doug. I had hoped to duck this seeing as I'm very new, but when Michaela came in, having been a member for only an hour, and I've been in, 3 weeks, she kind of stole my thunder or any excuse that I could possibly use. So hello, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm Simon Bird. I'm based, as you probably tell from my accent, near London in the UK. And I help consumer goods companies develop their international markets, looking at their long-term growth strategies and their ambitions. I tend to do a lot of work around identifying full potential of markets and then coming up with strategies for how they will exploit them. Because of the nature of the businesses that I work with, they are crowded, competitive, and complex markets. So I use a lot of customer insight and analysis and creative thinking techniques to get my clients thinking differently about the opportunities and the markets that they're working in. And primarily, I'm looking for leaders who are responsible for growth in those types of organizations, with a primary interest in Europe, Asia Pacific, or the Middle East.
Fantastic. Are there particular market segments that you excel?
Yeah, premium, it tends to be. So I think the easiest way is to just describe the clients I've worked with. So Tempur Sealy is a big client of mine, Lazy Boy, so 2 out of the furniture, but also Therabody, so consumer electronics.
Okay.
But I have experience in fast-moving consumer goods as well. So I worked for Diageo and British American Tobacco in the past.
Okay. How about the footwear industry with Marcella?
No, nothing in the footwear industry, but never say never, right?
Got it. Very good. Well, thank you. You're outside of London. Where are you based?
I am. There was a gentleman here who is based in Portsmouth. I think I'm halfway between London and him. So if you know Heathrow Airport, I'm about 30 miles to the southwest of Heathrow Airport.
And nonetheless, sounds like you're working globally.
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're compared to Michela, you're an old member.
Yes.
A long time member. But nonetheless, thank you for jumping in only 3 weeks as a member. I appreciate it. Let's now go to Tamer Flores, who recently gave, I think, one of the most engaging webinars that we've had in a while. He had not only some really great content about global expansion, but also he worked with our team and Alisa Villaruz to put together a series of surveys that were, I thought, really brilliant. So Tamer, thank you for doing that. Thanks for the content. Thanks for what you do in terms of helping people grow their business and brand their business. Who would you like to meet and how can we help?
Thank you, Doug. So again, my name is Tamer Flores. I'm founder of BizTheGlow. And my motto is better, simple, different. And I believe success comes from finding better ways and making things simple by delivering different out-of-the-box solutions. So I'm an innovator, and that's the kind of clients that I'm looking for. The clients that are looking for the same solutions that everybody else has are not a good fit for my company. I have 25 years of experience in growth and strategy, and I got companies through their international expansion as a fractional chief global growth officer. And I help companies like Hair Club to grow over 35 million in new sales within 2 years, with a projection of $500 million in growth over the next decade. So basically, I would say that I'm probably a step before SAC, because I help the companies establish themselves, and then SAC is the master of sales, right? So I would help them choose the right strategy, choose the right people, start operating in a new country. And I do that as a part of their company, but as a fractional professional, meaning I do everything that a full-time professional does, but I do it in half the time. So I don't consider myself a consultant, but I can do consultant job, meaning, have a 3-month or 6-month contract. I can do that too. But I relate very well with the executives of the company. I'm looking for basically right today, I'm thinking maybe companies that are exporting and they are thinking that they might want to go one step further above exporting. So if your company or you have clients that are exporting, and they might be thinking that, hey, maybe it's a good idea to open an office in this other country, that's me. That's the person who is going to do it. They usually assign a person inside the company, but that person doesn't have experience opening offices in another country, or doing strategy, or sometimes calculating the differences in cultures and issues. So yeah, today I would say companies that are exporting that might want to go one step ahead and start establishing themselves in another country. So let me know, contact me if you have that. So hello to everyone. Ciao, Micaela. Ci vediamo dopo. I love speaking Italian because I haven't forgotten it after 30 years. I do speak Spanish too. So thank you very much. Let's see if you have, if we can collaborate. I have also maybe clients that might help you. So
fantastic. You're based in Florida, originally from Peru. Thank you very much, Tamer. Monica Varas is based in nearby my hometown of New York, in New Jersey, working the tri-state area, working with companies with their insurance and risk mitigation needs. Monica, who would you like to meet? How can we help?
Good morning, Doc. Thank you for the opportunity. As you say, I'm a commercial insurance broker, so we all know the insurance is very important. Our legal system prone to litigations, and we need to avoid that. Businesses need to protect themselves against fires, natural disasters, thefts, cyber liability, property damage, cyber, which is very important now, and also business interruption. So I'm looking for any company that would like to assess and establish the right protection. We can help any local company here in the United States. I represent 27 insurance company, and we also will be able to help any international company in any other country. Thank you so much for your time. I have put my information on the chat, and thank you again. Have a great day.
Thank you, Monica. Longtime member of Global Chamber, relied upon, a trusted resource. Similarly, Peter Grebick is a longtime member in multiple companies. So Peter, thank you for what you do and your expertise. I meant to call on you earlier because I think you visited Ghana, and I meant to have you follow Komi Clue, because I think you met Ruby Golo of Global Chamber Accra. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help, based in the DC area?
Yes, thank you, Doug. Yes, I was in Ghana in April, and I met Ruby, and I also met Nii in Nigeria. I was there during that same trip. Nii, good to see you again, as always. And all the other friends and colleagues out there on the Global Tribe. I apologize, I was multitasking looking at some reports, so I need to shift gears here real quick. Okay, so my name is Peter Grebick. I'm an international trade economic development professional. My firm here in DC, we focus in 3 specialized areas of trade finance. So we work in investigations, due diligence, and recovery services for export credit agencies, development finance institutions. So we've worked with XM Bank for 20 years, DFC. A lot of the European and Asian ECAs becomes a small world. That's one of our 3 primary international business lines. We also work, my firm has acquired some regional investment centers in the Midwest that work to source EB5 investment capital and funnel it into qualified registered economic development projects. That's one area where we see opportunity. We commercialize this project through investment intermediaries in countries outside the United States. And for each transaction facilitated, we remit $25,000 US for the intermediary. We are looking at additional intermediaries, and this program is commercialized all around the world. Congress wants to expand it. 80% of utilization prior to the last reauthorization was China and India, and so we are part of the diversification of this program. And the last business line that we do is we work oftentimes in a small role of consortia building or financial advising for large investment projects. Komi, you mentioned doing a project in Ghana on the nuclear side. So we've worked in projects in energy, transportation, various aspects. Let's connect offline and discuss that maybe. Mostly in this area, we have contacts, law firms that we work with, in countries around the world, and connections to assist with legal, regulatory, various aspects of the project. But usually at this point, we want to get into the stack of documents and see, what's there and what's needed, and things along those lines. So thank you, Doug, again for the time. Again, our 3 business lines. If there's anyone out there that has distressed assets that they're not keeping quiet about, they can talk to me before they have an ulcer. If there is anyone that is looking at doing investments in the United States and needs a visa pathway, the EB5 Capital option is one option that you can talk to me about. And then, of course, if there are projects, I want to look at a stack of documentation that everyone else would run from, and we can see if that would move forward. So thanks again, guys.
Brilliant. We have three more speakers, Nihi, Opong, and Jim. And so we're probably going to go a few minutes over, not too many minutes over. Opong Agimang, you are based in New York as well, out on Long Island, another one of my hometowns. How can we help you? Who would you like to meet, please?
Thanks, Doug. I'm looking to meet, a number of folks focusing on, helping businesses grow and international expansion. I actually reached out to Cesar to facilitate some meetings. So I'll keep it short today, Doug, and I just want to say thank you for everyone for sharing today.
That is very short. Okay, well, great. Cesar is the person that everybody should be connected to. Following this conversation, we'll have a LinkedIn post today that will connect all of you. Two other people that you should know are Jim and Nihi. Jim, who would you like to meet, and how can we help? You are looking for unicorns, some very special companies to help them accelerate their growth but unique companies. And you've mentioned in the past about Thailand and South Korea. Who would you like to meet?
I just posted what we basically do. I'm going to get off record a little bit to the panel. We have found how can I say this? Every once in a while, we go back to how we market our companies, trying to find more clients. We interviewed 5 years worth of those that we rejected. 5 years of those who are now successful and are now unicorns, and the people we're working with on what are you looking for now, on how people help you. You may want to go back and touch base with all the past ones to find out the marketing, especially with the pandemic, politics, and everything else. You may want to go back and redirect some of your energies to what they're actually looking for now versus what they were looking for 4 or 5 years ago. I was quite surprised on what we found by talking to our past and present customers. It's just an FYI. What we do is first to market, which would be, let's say, the easiest one is Apple. We also do what we call innovative, already established, innovating people on established markets, which would be like an Airbnb or Uber, where they made an established market silo easier for the customer. That's all I got. It's basically posted, but the idea of this little quick chat is look around at what you've been doing, that the people looking for you have changed the way they're looking for you. I'm done.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. And finally, Nihi Sanusi is a Global Chamber Lagos Advisory Board leader, and Nihi is a trusted resource not just in Nigeria but all across Africa with legal expertise. Nihi, you have, I think, the last word today. Who would you like to meet? How can we help?
Thank you very much, Doug. I appreciate the opportunity. It was great meeting Peter when he came to Lagos earlier this year. I'll definitely like to speak with Zach probably later. I think he's mentioned a few things I'd like to talk to him about. I'd also like to connect with Dinesh. Some of the things he has raised, I think they're of interest. On a broad level, I'm a lawyer in Nigeria, but also I have a network of law firms across the continent. And so we're like a one-stop shop for business and legal, as well as a point of contact for other kinds of interest across the continent. So if you have any form of potential or future interest in the continent or presently, we'll be happy to have a conversation and take it from there. Thank you very much, Doug. Appreciate it again.
Thank you, Nihi, for all that you do, and really appreciate working with you for these years. That ends, I believe, I think we've got everybody covered, turn it over to Cesar. Any last words, Cesar, that you would like to share? Anything we missed? Anyone I missed? And then the only other thing I would say is that Global Chamber London meetup that happens monthly starts in 1 hour. Cesar, any comments, please?
Thank you, Doug. I've been getting a couple messages from members, so please keep reaching out. I've been taking notes, and we will discuss, as Doug mentioned, for future introductions. And yeah, you're more than welcome to join the London meetup in an hour. And we have later this week, we have the Global Sales Roundtable on Thursday, and we have the nonprofit call on Friday. So if you're interested in any of those, feel free to join us.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining and taking the time. Have a great one. Take care.
Thanks, Doug. Cesar.
Thank you.
Everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.